We have just begun, I think, to find ways to bring whole areas of science now in contact with the humanities in very creative and positive ways. In terms of the origin of humanity, I think we should understand that if you're going to deal with prehistory, see, the humanities deals with history mostly, but if you're going to deal with prehistory, or where we all came from and so on, then you're going to be having to deal with a lot of biology of the kind I just spoke of. And yet that's not so hard to understand once you start thinking it through. But the sciences generally is going to impact the humanities, or how shall I say, form synergistically unions with the humanities. Because science needs to study what's in the humanities, just as the humanities need to know what the foundation of aesthetic sense and artistic impulse is biologically, and why it is thus and so and not some other. Cannot be done by all scientists. Never ask an astrophysicist about the meaning of human. They may try to answer it, and you are respectful, but they have no chance to do it. Never ask an astronomer. Never ask a chemist. Never ask the majority of psychologists. Never ask even my colleagues in molecular biology. They're too far removed from the subject of interest. Who do you ask? And here I'll sound like I'm being dogmatic, but I'll defend it at EB. You ask the following: evolutionary biologists. They're the ones that study the genetic history of whole lines of species that go from one kind of life to another. Ask the paleontologists, segueing to the archaeology, because in different time scales, they know what's happening in the origin of culture and adaptation to a particular environment, and also they know the fine details of things like cranial capacity, and from bone analysis and so on, what has been eaten by our ancestors 100,000 years ago or 1 million years ago, and then ask the brain sciences. This is the big thing now, is the immense amounts of money being put into neurobiology to study how the brain works. And I believe that, of course, is, with the grail, is the understanding the nature of consciousness. That's front page news as it develops. And so ask the brain scientists and neurobiologists about what the meaning of humanity is, because they zero in on the centers of the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, the nature of mind. Then they're going to have a lot to contribute to self-understanding of humans. But then now let's go to